Enjoy your Zoa. Oh, no applause? You're all fired.
Hey, good morning, America. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Money! Are you ready? They are ready. Covering the biggest events in the country right now.
There's a lot going on here.
It's always a good time. That's what the show's about.
That's good.
Really good. Very good.
Coming in hot, Jimmy, coming in hot.
It's far from elementary.
Good morning, America.
I'm not going to try to strut like Michael or anything.
I have known George a long, long time.
Have you ever gotten him to dance?
Look at that face.
You don't just see it, you feel it.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'll be there.
I am here and so happy.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'm in.
That tells you something when Snoop Dogg's in. Michael, George, Lara, Ginger. Hey.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Hello. And you welcome into another edition of Braylon Lee's Virtual Tour Live. Glad to have all of you here in the building with me. We do have a whole lot to talk about, and believe me, we definitely have a whole lot to get through. My God, today. We're gonna start off with something really big that I think sometimes people need a lesson that the harm that you try to do to others, it's gonna flip back on you. So we'll start off with that and wait till you see what it is here. But after that, we're gonna talk about our destinations here because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 destinations for you all this morning. Lionel Richie, Mr. All Night Long, has something to say to Chris Brown and Usher. Yes, indeed, he does. We'll get into that, what he said. Rihanna, A$AP Rocky is ready for new music, just like the rest of us. We'll get into that. InvestFest, it happened. It did. But what if I told you that there is more than meets the eye? Yes, indeed. We'll definitely get into that, especially after that big announcement, right? That they did for the South Side of Atlanta, Georgia. Yes, indeed. There, Carlos King is back in the news, child. When is he not in the news for some bullshit? There's a new article that came out that we're gonna go over, and plus, not only that, I'm gonna show you a summary of what I said about Carlos King not too long ago, but long enough ago. We'll talk about that. AI, of course, as we all know, we live in an AI world, but it seems like AI is breaking down slowly but surely. And when it comes to the job market, I mean, come on, it's its own minefield. We'll talk about that. Nolan Wells, we are still saying his name. We are still giving him coverage, and we are still not putting our foot off the gas. TV last night said that the boys didn't do anything, even though he has no evidence of that. And you saying everybody's a suspect until nobody's a suspect should not get you a lawsuit at all, because that's how the police are handling it. They haven't even cleared them. Okay, so until we get a report that they are cleared, they're suspects. Okay, all right, moving on. Child, just my God, today, I mean, I get it when you get to a certain age in life and you look back over everything and, you're washed up, you're dried up, and, you really have no purpose. Like TV, you get mad, you get frustrated, you get pissed off at other people, but that doesn't mean that you could just do anything that you want to do and have a platform. But hey, far be it from me giving an opinion, but yet here we are. Karoline Leavitt has left the White House as the press secretary, which is fantastic, except we are still in this presidency until 2028. So we're not out the woods yet, but that is a decent win. We'll talk about that. And then Selena Gomez and her mom are being sued over a mental health company startup. Yeah, it's a big Friday morning here, so let's get to it because higher is weighing, low is available. But either way, we got to go on tour. Yes, indeed, we do. Let me take down this iconic intro here. You see that virtual tour background? Yes, you do. You hear that virtual tour music? Yes, you do. One thing to know, and two things for sure, that over here on this channel, a lot happens early. Roll it.
It's a new morning for America's family. Sun's coming up, so make it all that it can be. You know a lot happens early.
I'm Harry Smith.
I'm Julie Chen. I'm Maggie Rodriguez.
Morning everywhere. Come on, get up.
I'm Russ Mitchell.
And I'm Dave Price. And it's a little early for this.
Now this it's a new morning for America's family. Sun's coming up, so make it all that it can be. You know a lot happens early. Every day's good when you started it off right. But whenever you start the daylight, a lot happens early. Can you feel it? And I say,
Good morning, everybody.
Are you girls ready for the Jonas Brothers?
We have an early show exclusive. Yes.
A lot happens early.
Early.
A lot.
A lot.
A lot happens
Early.
The Early Show, weekday mornings on CBS.
It's a new morning.
Yes, it is a new morning. Julie Chen moves into Russ Mitchell, Dave Price, Harry Smith, and Maggie Rodriguez. You're absolutely right on this channel right here. A lot happens early. Good morning, everybody. Hopefully all is well with each and every single one of you. You know, when you are a nobody who put out a song called Leave Me Alone, but yet you don't leave people alone, and you put out coloring book for children saying, you know, I get bullied too, but yet you're the bully. When you killed a whole human being based on your behavior, when you have stalked somebody, when you got put on blast, when you say you were going to go to court and win and you lost. Shall I keep going? Cake Gate. So that nobody talk to a nobody and try to stop somebody's bag. I just want to showcase this from what's happening real quick before we get into our destinations here. Here we go. Here we go. Shout out to what's happening, by the way.
So congratulations to Melody, Cherie, and Drew Sidora, because according to Melody, they did sell out during what was essentially just a soft launch. So that's a good problem to have.
Yes.
Also, I will say, after watching her live, I'm really interested in seeing what happens when they take this offline and actually get in front of the fans, because Melody announced that they would be having an in-person event down in Atlanta. So that is going to be a great opportunity for people to actually come and smell the fragrances in person, meet Melody and Drew, take pictures, and purchase products and just really experience the brand behind these collections. Also, I think we're watching something that's interesting that's happening between these two women. What's starting as a fragrance collaboration, I think definitely has the potential to become just something even bigger if they continue to build on the response that they're getting. But let's take a listen to what Melody had to say.
Sound check, Annette. I have been doing amazing. But look, I got to tell y'all this really, really quickly, okay? So, if you didn't get the text or the email, we literally just put our coconut vanilla trio, which is the scrub, the butter, and the oil, at $40. So 3 products for the price of 1. And if you go to the site, you're going to see the peach butter scrub and oil. Hey, Miss Hannah Grace, also for the price of 1, $40. So sale out of this world. Run over there right now. Coconut vanilla and peach. You want to go grab those now, okay?
So I want to just showcase that because I really am getting sick and tired of people who are trying to stop other people's bag when they don't have a fucking bag their damn self. I can't hear nobody. And their counsel is a bunch of aunties. One has to have so much perfume, child, that she doesn't have her own voice and knowing what she wants to talk about. You got another one who wants to open up their YouTube channel again after saying that they were tired of talking about the show, but yet they're on Coke. I meant Coca-Cola. Calm down, everybody. Calm down. You got another one who's a police officer with no actual record. Child, listen. All I gotta say is this: it is so interesting to me how you want to stop her bag, but yet you say you were tired of talking about the show as well. Your damn self. You were going to do a whole rebrand, did like a countdown thing on your page. You know what's really funny? If you're that big and bad and bold, why hasn't Stormy used any of your music in her promotional campaigns, huh? Not to mention Cynthia Bailey is showing Melody Cherie some love. Child, it looks like somebody who wants to be a king can't even find a kingdom who wants him. Okay? So, worry about your bag, and maybe you'll have a bag. Moving on. And if what I'm saying ain't true, don't respond to me, motherfucker. I'm scared. Oh my God, anxiety. Everybody been watching me. You remember you texted me that, right, motherfucker? All right, let's roll on. Now, with that being said, let's get to our destinations here. I just had to do that because I'm like, we're not going to try to tear down somebody just because nobody wants to lift you up, okay? Here we go from rollout.com, celebrating 25 years on to the next 25 years. Lionel Richie took one swing at Chris Brown and it landed. The music legend needled two R&B headliners mid-show. The replies did not hold back. Lionel Richie calls out Usher and Chris Brown on stage. Lionel Richie spent a beat of his Phoenix set this week doing something no one bought a ticket for. He needled Usher and Chris Brown standing on his own run with Earth, Wind, and Fire. The singer told the crowd that pairing two R&B headliners in one stadium bill is not the fresh idea as it gets sold as, rather, because the Commodores and Earth, Wind, and Fire were running that same show 4 years ago. Then came the part that traveled. The one real gap between their eras and theirs, Richie said for Grin, is that his generation kept itself out of jail. Oh, clock it. Oh, I love it. I fucking love it. He laughed, seemed to catch himself half off the back. The phone caught all of it, and by the next morning, the clip was moving fast across Twitter. Nobody had to name names for the punchline to point somewhere specific, which is exactly why it stuck. How fans took the swing, replies split down familiar lines. Allowed share read it as a elder taking an unprovoked shot at a younger generation, the kind of jab that arrives from nowhere, helps no one. Others were blunder and told the 77-year-old history lesson to himself. A small camp cheered, agreeing that the current forward leans on blueprint that was drawn decades before either headline was famous. And a big mill just shrugged on the whole damn thing random, asking who exactly it was for. A sharper corner flipped the mic around and pointed at Richie's own crowded tabloid history over the years. The classic reminder that nobody is handing out clean living awards should throw the first one. The move on balance tilted against him. The roughly allowed this slice of the time frame, framed it as legacy at punching down rather than a joke that needed telling. So here we go here.
And Usher and Chris Brown. See, they trying to do something new. Commodores with Earth, Wind, and Fire. We were doing that back 40 years ago. The only difference is between then and now, we didn't go to jail.
Oh man.
And Instagram and that TikTok and that go out and tell a lie, they go post it. What the hell was that?
Oh my God. Shout out to Ahmed, the Ears, IG, Big Biz, the God, for sure for that. The blueprint hiding inside Richie's joke. Here is the read that almost everyone skipped while arguing about shade. Richie was not only clowning Chris Brown, he was quietly filing a claim. The two R&B star stadium bill is not a 2026 invention. It is the exact model his own catalog helped build, and he knows it. Stripped the jail line off the top, and what's left is a founder watching his format get run back by the next tenants. The twist he probably did not intend is the money. The younger act now moves the most expensive seats in the country, with some of those stadium tickets averaging north of $600, which is some people's rent, by the way. Car note, okay, house note, cell phone at this point. Yes, there's cell phones that cost over $1,000, I know. While the originators filled the nostalgia arena circuit at a fraction of that, so the student out earns the professor by a wide margin. Whether that stings or flattens depends entirely on how you hear it. Richie framed it as saying clean the receipts suggests the blueprint outgrew its author, and that it might be the part that actually got under his skin. So here is Forgotten Kings TV 2.0. Shout out to him.
Right there. That's, and Usher and Chris Brown. See, they trying to do something new. Commodores, Earth, Wind and Fire, we were doing that back 40 years ago. All the difference is between then and now, 40 years. We didn't go to jail. I'm sorry. Fine Christian man, fine Christian man. That's right. See, we didn't have that Instagram and that TikTok and that go out and tell a lie, they go post it. What the hell was that?
So I'm gonna read this part one more time because you guys didn't have the chance to see it. I do not mind. This is our show. Things happen, okay? Lionel Richie took one swing at Chris Brown and landed. The music legend needled two R&B headliners mid-show, and the replies did not hold back. Lionel Richie spit a beat of his Phoenix set this week, doing something no one bought a ticket for. He needled Usher and Chris Brown standing on his own run with Earth, Wind and Fire. The singer told the crowd that pairing the two R&B headliners on one stadium bill is not the fresh idea it gets sold as, because the Commodores and Earth, Wind and Fire were running that same show 4 years ago. Then came the part that traveled. The one real gap between his era and theirs, Richie said with a grin, is that his generation kept itself out of jail. He laughed, seemed to catch himself and half walked it back. A phone call all of it by the next morning. The clip was moving so fast across Twitter, nobody had to name names for the punchline to point somewhere specific, which is exactly why it stuck. How fans took the swing, the reply split down familiar lines. A loud share read it as an elder taking an unprovoked shot at a younger generation, the kind of jab that arrives from nowhere, helps no one. Others were blunter and told the 77-year-old to keep the history lesson to himself. A smaller camp cheered, agreeing that the current tour leans on a blueprint that was drawn decades before either headliner was famous, and a big middle just shrugged on the whole damn thing random and asking who exactly it was for. A sharp corner flipped the mic around and pointed to Richie's own crowded tabloid history over the years. The classic reminder that nobody handing out clean living awards should throw the first one. The mood on bounce tilted against him. Roughly the loudest slice of the time frame framed it as a legacy at punching down rather than a joke that needed telling. The blueprint hiding inside Richie's joke. Here is the read that almost everyone skipped while arguing about shade. Richie was not only clowning Chris Brown, he was quietly filing claim. The two-star R&B stadium bill is not a 2026 invention. It is the exact model his own catalog helped build, and he knows it. Stripped the jail line off the top of what is left as a founder watching his format get run back by the next tenants. The twist he probably did not intend is the money. The younger act now moves the most expensive seats in the country, with some of those things tickets averaging north of $600, while the originators filled the nostalgia arena circuit at a fraction of that. So the student out-earns the professor by a wide margin, rather. Whether that stings or flattens depends entirely on how you hear it. Richie framed it as staying clean. The receipt suggests the blueprint outgrew its author, and that might be the part that actually got under his skin. So let me just say this, right? This is my take on this. That would be like that waste of life that should have been swallowed by its mother, by the way, when he went after content creators and strike them this, that, and the third, because he was big mad that other people were talking about it, but yet it wanted to be a topic. Okay? That would be like Chris Brown trying to stifle the Commodores and Lionel Richie. But here's the thing, though. Without the Commodores and Lionel Richie, there would not be a Chris Brown, there would not be an Usher. Let's not pretend that somebody had to start it up in order for somebody to run it up. Somebody had to start it up in order for somebody to run it up. Somebody had to start it up in order for somebody to run it up. You know what I mean? I don't think Lionel Richie was wrong, because we all know Chris Brown's history, and yes, Rihanna has forgiven Chris Brown, this, that, the third. He did just get a judgment for $13 million. Okay? About that whole situation at the nightclub, and also the dog, and you know, he punched his mom and he busted a window out of the Times Square studios. Like, Chris Brown does have a history. Nobody's just making that up to hate him, right? So he or she who has not sinned cast the first stone. But also, too, I'm sure Lionel Richie has a past. But here's the thing. Will Chris Brown have the energy of Lionel Richie in his 70s? Probably not. Now, Usher is in a different category by himself, okay? So, listen, I'm sure that people are probably going to that concert tour, that concert series, that concert tour. Yes, that concert tour. I'm still waking up, ladies and gentlemen. But they are probably going to that concert tour for Usher more than Chris Brown. What you want me to do? Anyway, let's roll on. Once again, for rollout.com, celebrating 25 years onto the next 25 years. Rihanna R9 album update is new music coming soon. Everybody's been waiting for years for this here. 10 years. ASAP Rocky studio confession has fans convinced that R9 is finally coming together. 10 years after Anti reshaped her legacy and redefined what a pop album could sound like, Rihanna appears closer than ever to giving fans a follow-up they have spent a decade begging for. The clues have been piling up for months, but it took her own partner, let his guard down on a podcast to turn speculation into something closer to confirmation. ASAP Rocky confirms Rihanna is back in the studio on August 5th, appearing on the Jason Lee show. ASAP Rocky let slip that Rihanna is deep into recording a new project, the one fans have already nicknamed R9. He described her as fully immersed in the work, using blunt language to make it clear there was nothing casual about the sessions. Almost immediately, he seemed to realize that he said more than he meant to, joking that he was probably about to catch heat from his partner for spilling the news before she was ready to share it herself. So let's watch this here.
Are you the reason why we don't have an album? Because people like you, 3 kids now. You are the reason she hasn't been to my award show because we've tried to get her twice. All right, and she's pregnant.
Fair enough.
And then every year she's pregnant.
She's traveling with me. Yeah, respectfully, okay. You right. But yo, she in the studio right now. Yeah, I said it. Sorry, babe. Oh God, bro, she cooking, bro. No funny shit. Yeah. Damn, I'm gonna get in trouble for this.
Will we get a Rocky? We gotta get a Rocky. You know, okay, I'm gonna put this out there and I want 10%. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you right now. And don't call Jay Brown and all the weird shit. We already did that. Motherfucker, y'all did it. A double album of y'all both together on every song. That would be fire.
Nope. I would hate Rocky and Rihanna if they both did that. That's trash.
Every person in your house.
Nobody want to hear us together, bro. I make subversive, weird ass indie rap. Like, I got a cult following, bro. I'm not your typical. I'm a handsome mainstream appeal and success. That's the only thing the reason why. The music that I make is for a niche demographic of people who actually get this shit. Yeah, so if you really from on some like, you remember the outfits you had on when you was 6, I make music for that. I make music for pretty boys. I make music for people that is misunderstood. I told you, like, bro, Tyler created, like, that's my brother.
Yeah, but your girl is an universal icon. She has songs with Paul McCartney, and y'all can figure it out. Bro, everybody in your house name is an R. RZA, Rocky, it's everything. Ain't no T in there, no S. It's just all R. So y'all can figure it out. And I'm just
double R.
Yeah,
look, I promise you, we're gonna do an album just for you, and it's never gonna come out. You just can't leak it. All right?
Well, I can't. I'm nosy by nature. I can't.
You know what? I am so glad that Jason Lee understood who the hell he is. We'll talk more. Let's continue on. Rihanna hints at new music herself. Rocky Slip wasn't the first time that new material was on the way. Back in February, Rihanna offered a glimpse into her schedule through a video posted to Instagram, mentioning she needed to head to the studio before pivoting to sew her son's Mardi Gras costume. And we played that video here on Brainley's Virtual Tour Live. It was a small but telling detail, a reminder that motherhood and music now occupy equal space in her day-to-day life, even as pressure builds around when exactly R9 might actually surface. While the wait has been so long since Anti arrived nearly a decade ago, Rihanna has largely stepped back from music, channeling her energy instead into Savage X Fenty and Fenty B while raising her 3 children, RZA 4, Riot 3, and Rocky 10 months old. Oh my goodness, my Lord. This active household for sure, but in the best way possible. Still, she has made it clear that album has never fully left her mind. Speaking with Harper's Bazaar last year, she described repeatedly scrapping material that didn't reflect how much she had grown as an artist, and a person explaining that music, which doesn't feel honest to where she is now, simply isn't worth building a full era, let alone a tour round. Even she reached a turning point, deciding that the years spent away from the studio needed to lead somewhere meaningful once she finally returned. The pressure behind Rihanna's next chapter, part of what has made the process so difficult by her own account, is the shadow cast of Anti itself. She has called it her most accomplished body of work, telling British Vogue in 2023 that she didn't fully grasp how cohesive the album was until well after its release. That admiration came with a cost, though internal standards she has since admitted felt almost unhealthy, since she has found herself believing anything new had to surpass what she considered her creative peak. She has pushed back against that mindset in recent years, reminding herself that music should function as an outlet rather than competition. Clock that. And that a song only needs to feel genuinely good to be worth releasing. That shift in perspective she has suggested is what finally opened the door to enjoying the process of creating again. A record-breaking career album or not, even without new music on the shelves, Rihanna's chart legacy keeps expanding. Earlier this year, she became the first woman to surpass 200 million RIAA certified single units, reaching more than 200.5 million certifications, and underscoring just how enduring her back catalog remains a decade removed from her last full-length release. Whether R9 lands before the end of the year or stretches further into the future remains an open question, but between her partner's studio confirmation and her own recent comments about creative renewal, the pieces finally seem to be sliding into place for the era fans have long waited to see. Source E! News. So, I don't think ASAP Rocky should get heat. Rihanna, listen, I know you know, how can I put this? Rihanna doesn't know that I exist, okay? Nor does ASAP Rocky. ASAP Rocky was just proud of his woman. I don't think that should be a crime. I don't think he should not be able to, be in the bedroom. I don't think he should be punished for it. And not to mention, like I said in the description box below, can we be proud that there is a black man proud of a black woman? Like, that's the thing here. You know what I mean? And, Jason Lee, I'm proud of you. Because you had a real honest moment with yourself. You're like, you know what? I'm nosy by nature. I'm probably going to release it anyway. And good for you for being honest. And to ASAP Rocky, I appreciate that you recognize who your audience is. But did you see the On the Run tour with Jay-Z and Beyonce? How much money they made together? Chat. Listen, don't knock it till you try it, okay? So with that being said, let's get to this from the Black Robin Hood. Excuse me. So, Earn Your Leisure claims 31,000 or 31,300 tickets were accounted for. The all-time record were sold, and everybody ran with it. We don't trust, we verify. Cold Guard Tars that claims aren't facts, receipts over hype. So right here, my honest InvestFest review, 16 years in business and 3 years as a vendor. Here's why I stopped. Swipe through to read the full, unfiltered operational breakdown of why I pulled my business out of the 2026 events. Okay, hang on. Let me go to D Stones. J.D. Stones. Give me a moment, y'all. Okay. Let me see if I can find Jay Stone's tweet, and then I'll send it to myself. Give me a moment, y'all. Interesting. Okay, let's do do this. Let's do. Okay, let's do this. Because y'all know I'm always about making sure that we give you the full story over here. So give me a moment. Okay, let me share this for myself here. Give me one momento, y'all. Like I said, hopefully your Friday morning is going very well. Yes, indeed. My God, so much going on. Okay. Okay. All right, y'all. So here we go. So here is JD Stone's tweet here. Oh, come on, damn it. Really? Is that what we're doing? Okay, give me a moment, y'all. Just I swear to God, man. I swear to God Almighty. Sometimes I just cannot stand social media. Give me a moment, y'all. Here we go. Okay. All right. So give me a moment here as I send those to thyself. Or maybe, you know what? Let me see something. Maybe I'm doing the most. Let's see here. Okay, so these are the posts here. Okay, here we go. From that tweet. Shout out to the Black Robin Hood. Fabricated attendance numbers. Every year the numbers get more inflated. This is all alleged, okay? They claim 20,000 people, but now they're currently claiming 30,000 people this weekend for 2026. But if you're on the floor, your eyes don't lie. Booths were sitting completely empty and unsold last year. Even Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens publicly fired back at the founders, calling them out for their numbers and their $100 million economic impact narrative. The mayor directly criticized their exploitative ticket pricing, slamming the basic entry and the $10,000. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. Let's see here. Their $100 million economic impact narrative. The mayor directly criticized their exploitative ticket pricing, specifically slamming the basic entry and the $10,000 VIP tier, saying that they charge local people way too much money while failing to provide actual tangible value back to the community. Key takeaways. What is don't trust, verify? Key takeaways. Don't trust, verify is an idiom in Bitcoin meant to encourage you not to trust any claim you cannot verify yourself. Its origins can be found in an old Russian proverb, trust but verify. In Bitcoin, verification ensures legitimacy and integrity. This common mile alludes to Bitcoin's cryptic system of work verification. Keep things simple. It means you aren't limited to relying on a stranger's good word because you can verify the address before sending a payment. Would you take a random person's word if they said they sent the correct amount to the right place without checking first? Of course not. To illustrate, an example route to illustrate, imagine a scenario where you're running a convenience store, but you never see the customer's face or get their name, and also you never get to see the money that they give you. You have no idea who they are and whether or not they pay. It's a recipe for disaster. Unfortunately, in the Bitcoin and crypto communities, transactions are verified by looking at the senders and receivers' wallet addresses. When everything matches up, you know the transaction is legitimate. So let me send the other things here. Already, I took care of those guys. Sorry, y'all. Right, let me go to Messenger. Okay, we'll look at those in just a minute here. Ironic origins. Believe it or not, this parallels Stalin's stake on the proper understanding as is. I'm not even going to pretend to butcher that. Which roughly translates to healthy distrust is a good basis for joint work. Stalin's mentions being there should be a healthy amount of skepticism when working with others. If you're too passive, nothing will get done. You might even say, if you want something done right, do it yourself. But just another reason why you wouldn't trust, why you shouldn't trust, rather, but instead verify for yourself. Yes, that piece. So right there. Now, with that said, okay. With that said. Now, this came out 4 days ago, but I'm going to give you J.D. Stone's other perspectives here. Okay, here we go. So, this from J.D. Stone's here. My honest InvestFest review: 16 years of business and 3 years as a vendor, and why I did not return this year as a business owner with 16 years of professional experience, including 16 years working with celebrities and high-profile clients and experiencing vending at multiple business events and expos. I understand business operations, marketing, branding, event execution, vendor relationships, and return on investment. I was a reoccurring InvestFest vendor booth for $2,500 for 3 consecutive years for 2023, 2024, 2025. This review is based on my first-hand professional experience over those 3 years, not one visit or outside speculation. After watching the event evolve and comparing what it was marketed to what I actually experienced as a paying vendor, I made a professional decision not to participate in InvestFest 2026. Here is the difference between the marketing hype and the actual reality on the ground. Number one, the investor bait and switch, the pitch. They tell small businesses that if you buy a booth, you'll get your brand in front of deep pocket investors ready to back your company. The reality that institutional investor foot traffic never happens. The organizers lock the real capital behind highly commercialized open pitch competition on the main stage for 5 select finalists. The hundreds of everyday paying vendors on the floor are left out to completely dry. Then right here, number 2, zero celebrity foot traffic and awful layouts. The pitch: massive celebrities are in the building to network and uplift the culture. The reality, the celebrity speakers are completely shielded and isolated from the marketplace. For standard high-value expos, create a vendor hour before doors open so speakers can actually meet the business owners. InvestFest doesn't do that. Even worse, by 2023, the floor layouts were so poorly managed that crowds were choked off into tight hallways, completely killing natural foot traffic to the business booths. And number 3, delay, chaos, and edutainment. 2023 was the peak, and it's been downhill ever since. That was the year that schedule completely fell apart. Headline speakers like Diddy showed up 3.5 hours late, backing up the entire weekend. Instead of the actionable wealth building panels people paid thousands for, the organizers filled the time with DJs, music parties, and terrible audio acoustics. People were literally on Instagram and Twitter talking about filing credit card chargebacks because they paid for a business conference and got a loud concert. So that is interesting, right? Right. That sounds pretty interesting. Until you hear this right here. After building After building InvestFest on the backs of Black people, Rashad says he's done with Black people, claims that InvestFest was never for Black people anyway. Here we go.
It was like, we have events like this every single week in Atlanta. You're an idiot for saying that. You never. There's no event in the world like that, let alone 30,000. But I'm not even on the Black thing no more. I never was on the Black thing, not a Black event, because I seen somebody else had said that like it was white people. Yeah, they're qualified to be there. Like, what do you mean? Like, you think I'm gonna cater just to Black people just to get torn down by Black people? You out of your fucking mind. There's gonna be even more white people next year, and Spanish and the Filipinos, of course. Like, I'm done. It's been real. Yeah. What? For what? The only thing you're gonna do is criticize it and tear it down. And not pay and want to get it for free anyway.
Rashad, if Black people built this, we can't find that's on Black people.
I'm saying it's all inclusive.
Amen.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And so I just want people to understand that right now.
Oh,
we never called it the Black Investment Conference.
Yeah.
Do you support reparations for Black people?
Well, listen,
again, we had over 200 years of slavery. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people. No.
Somebody was like, we have events like this every single week in Atlanta. You're an idiot for saying that. You never. There's no event in the world like that, let alone 30,000. But I'm not even on the Black thing no more. I never was on the Black thing. Not a Black event. Because I seen somebody else had said that, like, it was white people. Yeah, they're qualified to be there. Like, what do you mean? Like, you think I'm gonna cater just to Black people just to get torn down by Black people? You out of your fucking mind. There's gonna be even more white people next year, and Spanish and the Filipinos, of course. Like, I'm done. It's been real. Yeah. What y'all for what? Only thing you're gonna do is criticize it and tear it down. You and not pay and want to get it for free anyway.
Rashad, if Black people vote this weekend, turn a Black bats on Black people.
I'm saying it's all inclusive.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And so I just want people to understand that right now.
Oh,
we never called it the Black Investment Conference.
Yeah.
Do you support reparations for Black people?
Well, listen, again, we had over 200 years of slavery. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people. No.
And somebody was like, we have events like this every single week in Atlanta. You're an idiot for saying that. You never. There's no event in the world like that, let alone 30,000. But I'm not even on the Black thing no more. I never was on the Black thing. Not a Black event. Because I seen somebody else had said that, like, it was white people. Yeah, they're qualified to be there. Like, what do you mean? Like, you think I'm gonna cater just to Black people just to get torn down by Black people? You out of your fucking mind. There's gonna be even more white people next year, and Spanish and the Filipinos, of course. Like, I'm done. It's been real. Yeah. What y'all for what? Only thing you're gonna do is criticize it and tear it down. You and not pay and want to get it for free anyway.
Rashad, if Black people vote this weekend, turn a Black bats on Black people.
I'm saying it's all inclusive.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And so I just want people to understand that right now.
Oh,
we never called it the Black Investment Conference.
This brother right here, protect this brother at all costs, because he's absolutely right. If we built this with Black people, we can't turn our backs on Black people. Because we built this with Black people, we can't turn our backs on Black people. Because we built this with Black people doesn't mean we should turn our backs on Black people. That brother is amazing. And here's the thing, right? When you go to Essence, when you go to InvestFest, when you go to Afrotech, when you go to any Black conference, right? Festival, summit, con, what have you, right? Yes, there are people who want to get in for free, right? However, in the same token, I know that Ozzy is no longer a media company, but they did do free tickets for students, right? They did, an accelerate. I think CultureCon also is doing free tickets for students. So there's a way to do it. For example, let's just say, something that you guys could do with the Gathering Spot is that, hey, if you're a Gathering Spot member, guess what? You get free admission to InvestFest. Why would you do that? Because guess what? You have the every day at the end of at the end of each day of InvestFest, the after party can be at the Gathering Spot in Atlanta. Hello. But then there are some content creators that they get content creator pass and they do get in for free. But they're also they're doing work of recording content to be able to create that social capital so you guys can get more financial capital. And bruh, this dude right here, bruh. He's done more for Black people than most Black people ever. That includes you too, sir. I won't let frustrating time change my view of him. This comment section is exactly what he's talking about. We are never satisfied. These people do more for the community than anybody you can shake hands with, yet we're quick to try to tear them down, discredit them at the earliest convenience. You know what's exhausting. You know how exhausting that is to deal with. We're constantly buying the hands that try to feed us and then hurt and wonder why people say stuff like this. Insufferable. This is an emotional response. This man doesn't feel supported by his community, serving and trying to liberate our people. Is for the week. His delivery was wrong. Thank you very much. But his message is not entirely on Black people are so critical of one another. That is true. VetsFest was intended to expose our people to many opportunities, but no matter the exposure, it's never enough. A constant stream of nitpicking. And I feel like from what he said, every Black person is not of that industry, right? There were Black people there. Steve Harvey, I believe, is an investor of I was about to say Blackfest. Black Vest Fest. That's what it should be called, Black Vest Fest, but that's neither here nor there. But no, sincerely, there are Black people who are way too critical, and he or she who has a stinkcast for something, like I always say. But in the same token, just because people are criticizing doesn't mean they don't want the event to win. Let's keep going here. Shout out to Victoria 007 here for that. That was a very well done comment there. And this is her profile here with Charles Barkley there. Child, gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. I see the face card, darling. Very, very nice there. Very nice. Let's keep going here. It's literally a hip hop conference because they think Black people need financial concepts to make hip hop to be. They think Black people need financial concepts to be made, hip hop to understand them. That was the premise of their brand. White people have bigger pockets. Conference Tony Robbins and all the other white grifter conferences to sift through. Bad take, bro. Rashad, I think you may have misspoken. Saying you cater to everyone is completely understandable. But not saying I'm now the Black thing and that you no longer came to your people feels directly contradictory to what you said built in the past. A major part of the platform was built around giving Black folks access to financial literacy and information that historically wasn't accessible in many of our communities. Airing a grievance because one or two people may have rubbed you the wrong way, then making it sound like you're distancing yourself from the very community that helped you build the movement is just bad as it makes that part. This felt like this was a very emotional take. You may have hurt yourself more than you believe. Nothing in America is strong as the Black dollar. When the world turns, just knows it's your own people that have your back. Don't let money or stats ever make you forget that. That's wisdom and love. Your community is the only reason why you are who you are. They be careful and never betray your own, because this will backfire real fast. Never betray or talk down on your own people. That's never a good thing. You built a platform. You build a platform and then speak negatively about your main customer base. That's a good period. I fully agree with that. So just wanted to give you that update there. All right, y'all. We got to talk about this fucking piece of shit, man. Carlos King. Yep, we got to talk about. Yep, we do. We do. We do. We do. We do. We do. You know, this article came out 3 years ago. I'm about to pull up a video here of that. I had a take about Carlos King from reviews and recaps, and so I'm going to bring up the ask feature, just kind of summarize it here. Just want to bring up this article because this is a reference article, right? So here it is here. This video features content creator Brandon Lee providing analysis of Carlos King and his current standing in reality TV production. The discussion covers several key controversies and industry insights. Quad and Carlos King's conflict. The creator discusses a public falling out between Quad, Mary DeMessa, and Carlos King. King criticized Quad for a recent interview with Carlos because criticized Quad for her recent interview with Carlos because labeling his work as careless journalism because they are friends and not objective journalists. Braylon analyzes the dynamics of celebrity interviews versus traditional journalism, right? So, with that being said here, I like that little underneath the bow. Yes, indeed. There, those are nice glasses. Shout out to Zool. So let's do here.
where he is saying that Quad is lying during her latest.
You a lie. You a cheat.
And
I don't want you. I
decided
don't want
to
you. I
go
don't want you.
to Carlos King's Instagram page just to see if he had some sort of response. And what I ended up finding was a clip of his series that he does with Lisa Ray on his YouTube channel. And Tommy from Love and Hip Hop is in the comment section, and she's calling out the journalism skills as well. And Tommy from Love and Hip Hop, she is the last person that you want to tick off. So before we get into what King and Tommy had to say, I ask that you please hit the like button on this video as well as subscribe to the channel. Everything that I'm saying in this video is alleged.
By the way, shout out to Show Styles and Spirit, a great content creator for sure.
Just my opinion. In the Copyright Act of 1976 says that by fair use commentary on these clips, they are allowed. Okay, so where King gets activated, this is coming from the Bravo Shade Room. They actually have a clip from Dr. Heavenly and Quad's interview with Carlos King. And King is going to call out Quad for lying, and then Carlos is going to catch a stray. So let's get right on it.
Now, for those of you who don't know, Quad and King did date, but by the time the reunion came on, part 2, they were no longer together. And King has said some things on social media. Quad has not. So this is basically her first time saying anything. And, you know, Contessa and Toya were still talking to King, and Contessa said he did not want him here. That means that Quad did not want King to activate him. So that's the context, conjecture, and connection there. Let's get to it.
On into it.
When was the last time that Kirk has reached out to you?
It was recent. Very recent. Maybe a few days ago.
Saying what?
I don't. Here I don't indulge.
Did you respond back?
I don't indulge. You know, here's the thing. I'm all in when I'm all in.
When was the last time that Kirk had? Did you respond back?
I don't indulge. You know, here's the thing. I'm all in when I'm all in. I'm so in. I'm so in when I'm all in. Sometimes I can even be blinded that I'm so in. So when I'm all out, when I'm out, I'm all out.
Did you call it Prince first?
It was mutual. It was a mutual situation. And when we go back to saying, what was that? Luck ran out. I never worry about luck. Again, like I said earlier, I'm not lucky. I'm blessed. So I never worry about luck. So
did you respond back?
Okay, so let's get into what King had to say. He typed, "Stop lying. I asked to end the relationship and haven't had a need to contact you. Stop trying to make yourself look good. These curated interviews and PR stunts are laughable. You have them in a controlled environment with your friends, not with a real journalist that will question you. The performance goes on." And no, it wasn't mutual or amicable. That was another performance and PR stunt. So I have to wonder, is it really King who is typing up these responses on social media, or is it the new woman that's probably in his life?
I want to pause there, right? So now you know about that. Tommy Lee and Lisa Ray McCoy, right? Lisa Ray McCoy made some comments about Tommy Lee, and you know, she was giving her opinion, honestly, right? But Tommy Lee also called out, right? Carlos King, okay, and Lisa Ray. So here we go with that. Lisa Ray can hold her own talk show. She don't really need to be with Carl.
And then we're going to get to what Tommy had to say in the comment section. You know, it's something about clips on Instagram and the blogs. The comment section sometimes is more detailed than the story, definitely more entertaining if it's like a funny story. But let's go ahead and get into it.
What is happening to Solange's 21-year-old son? Joel Smith was recently seen out with Tommy Lee. She's 41, he's 21. There's a video of them kissing, making out.
We'll say this, Solange will probably approach this in a way in which this does not and should not come between her and her son. Because if you try to bark too loud, that he might just go in that direction, period.
That was smart advice.
I will say this, at 21 and at her age, what's the chances of it lasting? I think not, I think that he has so much more of the world to see.
Lisa Ray
and I
needs
think
her
that,
own talk show.
she
don't have
probably
to be
would want somebody that's
She
more
needs her own talk show.
experienced.
She does not have to be with Carlos King.
I think that maybe perhaps she's having some fun. It seemed like she was not as concealed, you know what I mean? I don't know if she had a drink or two, you know what I mean? But it seems like she...
Because here's the gag. You ready for this? Carlos King needs Lisa Ray more than Lisa Ray needs Carlos King. No lies told. Needs Lisa Ray more than Lisa Ray needs Carlos King. Carlos King needs Lisa Ray more than Carlos King needs Lisa Ray more than Lisa Ray needs Carlos King. Because like I said before, have y'all noticed anytime Carlos does anything on YouTube, he can never hold his own? Ever. He's always got to be connected to somebody in order to be a somebody. He's always got to be connected to somebody in order to be a somebody. He's always got to be connected to somebody in order to be a somebody. And we all know Reality with the King. It's just Nightcap with Carlos King remix. That's it. Okay. That's all it is. Nightcap with Carlos King failed on the Oprah Winfrey Network to try to come back with Reality with the King specials. And then somehow Charlamagne the God believe that platform deserved a space, a voice, and to be elevated. With Charlamagne the God, I just want you to know, you're with a lot of cheat. And I promise you, you ain't gonna want him, you ain't gonna want him, you ain't gonna want him no more. But you're gonna have to learn the hard way. Absolutely. Child, I mean, just, you wanna learn reality TV from him, but Will Packer is $1 billion box office director. Like that tea. Child, let's roll on. And not to mention, too, Will Packer produced Queen's Court that Lisa Ray was on Bravo and Peacock. But hey, listen, Charlamagne the God's a smart one. Let's continue. I love my damn self. I really do.
She's having a good time. It seems like, hey, whatever. And when that takes over and that happens, then you might get a little wild. But I don't know a lot about her. The backstory that I have heard about her was that she was on Baddies and that she has, I don't know how many kids. And I want to say that I think I heard that she is trying to get custody of her kids. So that means that she lost them. I don't know how. I heard that she's been to jail, but having some of us all, I've heard that she likes to fight. But hey, if you got to fight, she got hands. You know what I mean? As a mom, do you want your child to be with the best representation of a lady? Someone that you can, live a life with and grow with? Yeah, you want that. Do you want someone that has so much of a reputation? I think.
Now, do you see how Lisa Ray is holding her own? Because she has that wisdom, she's got that sauce, and she understands the totality of who she is. That part. You see, Carlos ain't adding nothing because he has nothing. Come on. Can you imagine if Carlos King was your uncle? Imagine Carlos King being your dad, and he produces chaos, strife, and misery on reality TV. And you expect your Uncle Carlos King to help you? I would rather trust Lisa Ray McCoy in the foxhole before. Come on now, Bray. No lies told, motherfucker. And the gag is nobody in the industry elevates. No one. The gag is nobody ever sees him at the Emmys, the Grammys, the Oscars, or the Tonys. But most of all, You don't really hear Carlos King working with a lot of networks, do you? And I don't want to hear, well, you don't know what Carlos is working on. I know that what you do in secret, God will bless you publicly. But usually there's a consistency of what you do behind the scenes that when it comes out publicly, the public agrees with it. And that doesn't happen with Carlos King. Let's continue.
I think not. However, change is real. You know what I mean? Things can change. I don't know how long ago those things that I just mentioned had happened to her, because she could be a whole different person now. I don't know. Is this what you meant for the public to see and to know? Is this a setup? You know, was this something to get your name out there or to have people to talking? I don't think that she's short of having people talk about things that she's done before. You know, I don't know if she's always in the press or not. This right here is nothing new, meaning an age gap. Age gap has been happening forever. It's just been more happening prevalent with men, with younger women, and him taking her and saying, come on, let's start a family.
Excellent commentary from Lisa.
What is happening?
Okay, so let's get into what Tommy had to say. Now, what triggered Tommy is Lisa Ray said that she thought that Tommy had to like get her kids back, so she must have lost them. And I remember on Love and Hip Hop, because Tommy was on Love and Hip Hop like season like 6, 7, like 6 and 7 or 5, 6 and 7. And she had like her oldest daughter, and then she has 2 daughters. So maybe like one was like elementary school and the other one was like middle school, almost high school. And then remember around 2020, the year of Carnival 19, Tommy was about to be a grandma. Her oldest daughter was pregnant and she was a teenager. So that young lady would be like in her early 20s now. And then so her daughter, that was like in elementary, kind of like middle school, by now she's probably like a young adult as well, her baby. And her baby daughter, Tommy, remember Tommy's baby girl took like a gummy to school. And it was a huge mess. And Tommy like went to jail. And then Tommy used to go to jail a lot. And she used to have a goal to like go a complete year without going to jail. And I know that may sound like, oh my gosh, she can't go a year without going to jail. But yeah, that was a goal for her at once. Mm-hmm. So if you watch Love and Hip Hop all these years, you know.
Something was sweet.
But here is what Tommy had to say. She said, never lost custody of my kids. I raised them on my own, although they have present fathers. I wish people wouldn't speak unless they actually cared about the topic enough to have facts. Speaking on things that's trending with no real facts is careless journalism. Okay, and then.
Now, Tommy Lee, I'm going to just say this right damn now. If the fate of the world's on the line, laser beam on the globe, and the aliens said, we got to sacrifice one of you to save the world, we would sacrifice you and keep Lisa Ray McCoy. Understand? That's non-negotiable. Nobody would stop us from giving you to the aliens. You are not that powerful. You are just as powerful as Nalina, which ain't really saying anything because she shit her damn self, just like you are. And number 3, Lisa Ray McCoy actually gave you a lot of love, grace, and space, right? Mm-hmm. So that's the thing that you can't really get upset about. You can't get upset about the history that you've made for yourself, and then people are recollecting your history. If you want people to tell a better history of you, you need to create a better history. And once Scott Williams, if you want me to tell people about the history between you and me, you should have treated me better. Come on.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking
whatsoever. And I meant that shit. And that journalism comment really should be more directed at Carlos King than Lisa Ray McCoy. Okay. Because Carlos King did go to school for, journalism and stuff like that. But child, I cannot imagine him on ABC, NBC. I mean, CBS News, they need black people so they don't look like they're a racist news organization. And CBS needs, content so that way they won't look like a racist network. What? Did I say something wrong? Let's roll on.
About it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform.
I'm looking to see if anything.
Describe what you
like what it is, cuz. What's up with you, man? Let's continue.
And
so you have that there. Now I want you to listen to this part from Carlos King right here, okay? Carlos King had something to say about reality TV. Now this is from the cosplayer of a supposed king of reality TV. Let's watch this.
The podcast has saved me.
Guys, hit that like button if you have not already. Smash that like button, please, and thank you, everybody. I hope you guys are doing well and enjoying the show. Get yourself a nice little drink.
Hey lovelies, welcome back to Reviews and Recaps. Now please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tap that bell button right next to it so you know every single time that I post or go live. Also, you can now hype videos, so please hype the videos so that you can put us in the algorithm so that our audience and more people can find us. Thank you so much. Now let's get into it.
If you have not already, smash that like button, please, and thank you, everybody. I hope you guys are doing well and enjoying the show. Get yourself a nice little drink. Yeah.
The podcast has saved me. I love it. Producing reality will always be a love of mine, but the industry has changed and it's not fun anymore.
Okay. Y'all heard that.
Let me flip that.
Producing, he loves it, but it's no longer.
The industry has changed.
Yeah.
The podcast has saved me. I love it. Producing reality will always be a love of mine, but the industry has changed and it's not fun anymore.
Okay. Okay.
The podcast has saved me. I love it. Producing reality will always be a love of mine, but the industry has changed and it's not fun anymore.
Now, here's the thing, right? If it's no longer fun anymore, right? Let's keep it a buck. If it's not fun anymore, then why is this still going on, right? I would think if it's not fun for you anymore, then you would quit producing reality TV, right? I would think so. It says right here, Carlos King, Joanna Hockman, Andrew Goglin, Marcus Burns, and Nisa Ahmed are executive producers. So I would think, okay, well, if it's not fun for you anymore, drop that, give it to one of the women, Joanna or Nisa, and let a woman actually run, since reality TV is usually catered to women more than men. Just keep it a buck. And then you just go off and do what the fuck you want to do, reality with the king that will stay on YouTube but never will be a full-fledged talk show. Like, bruh, I don't know how you can say that producing reality television isn't fun for you anymore, and yet you can still have a show on television. Okay. So with all that being said, now let's get to Urban Bell Magazine. Shout out to them. Love them so much. Now, this came out 3 years ago, okay? Carlos came in response to home viewers accusing him of creating toxic reality shows. Carlos King had received some backlash amid the popularity of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Well, popularity is in the eye of the beholder, but that's neither here nor there. The men of Love and Marriage Huntsville are already receiving backlash on social media just one season in. Some fans have complained that they are all toxic husbands. This has also resulted in some criticism of Carlos King as well. In fact, some Love and Marriage Huntsville fans have accused Carlos King of liking and supporting toxic men who should not have a platform. This all came to a head after Melody Cherie made some strong accusations about Martell Hope. She alleged that Martell threatened to release a video of them being intimate while they were still married. Martell then did an interview addressing the accusations and claimed he was just defending himself because Melody was bullying him in the interviews. And this is the thing that you got to understand.
If you were a piece of shit to a woman and she says all the things that you did as a piece of shit, that's not bullying. That's just telling the truth. And vice versa. If you are a woman that was a piece of shit to a man, that man's telling all the things that you've done as a piece of shit to him. He's not bullying you as a woman. He's telling the truth. Stop it. Stop it and stop it. Good damn. The matter was taken pretty seriously by some Love and Marriage Huntsville fans. Even petition was even launched for call for Martell's firing. As for Carlos, he made it clear on his YouTube channel that he prefers to remain neutral when it comes to Melody and Martell. He firmly believes there are huge reasons why Love and Marriage Huntsville became a smash hit on OWN. Well, here's the thing, right? I think that may have been true in the beginning, but if that's the only show on the network and people are watching it, it will become a hit because there's nothing else competing against it, right? So that's the real reason why it's still a hit. Now you have, Put a Ring on It, Cheat Hab that just came out. Never Ever Met. You have Ready to Love, right? You also, I'm trying to think what else is on the network here. You also have, Ayanla, Fix My Life. Ayanla Inside the Fix. Okay, so that is back as a show. You have Dating Download and Glow Up at 5, which are 2 YouTube shows. So even OWN is recognized we need to produce content for them. You also have Heart and Hustle Houston. Okay, you have Bell Collective as well, child. I will always stand 10 toes down on Selena. Does not need to be on Bell Collective. She was on Bring It, which put Lifetime on the map for unscripted content. Carlos King needs Selena more than Selena needs Carlos King. Y'all not gonna make me feel no other ways about it. Okay. All right. Okay. And not to mention too, let's get back to the let's get back to the article here. So as far as he's concerned, he doesn't want to move the show forward without them. Well, Carlos addressed some of the criticism he received during an interview with Love and Marriage Detroit star Anthony Thompson. Carlos King is concerned that critics will watch a positive reality show. Carlos asked Anthony, people think Anthony is toxic. Oh, there are some Anthonys that are toxic for damn sure. Besides Anthony Thompson from Love and Marriage Detroit. The men on Detroit are toxic. Carlos like toxic husbands. What do you have to say when people throw those narratives in your direction? Anthony, I think it's bullcrap. It's people being fake. Because let's be real, if these cameras went home for everybody, see, I'm on a lot of boards. I talk to a lot of people. So it's many men I know right now that are unhappy and married and doing stuff at home. And they be on social media smiling, taking pictures and acting like they're happy-go-lucky, and that ain't true. He continued, let's be real, they can say what they want to say, but y'all watch it because y'all know y'all want to connect to it. Carlos then responded directly to his detractors. Rather, if I created a show and it was about everybody being happy-go-lucky, life is good, rainbows and skills, and we have picnics on Saturday, and that's it, y'all will call my show boring and not watch it. It will be canceled, right? The thing is this, everybody's relationship is different. Everybody, man, female, or they, everybody has a toxic moment, a moment that they're not proud of. Every relationship goes through ups and downs. We're watching the show because at the end of the day, you can relate to it. Here's the thing: when Hard Hustle Houston first came out, like everybody was like, "Yes, finally a show that yes, we got drama, but also we see the ladies getting along." Everybody loved Hard Hustle Houston, so that's bullshit. Okay, that's fucking bullshit. Just because producing reality television is no longer fun for you anymore doesn't mean you have the right to just be that asinine in your behavior. Okay, all right, moving on. So here's this here. So Carlos King, when is enough? They're stirring the pot and then crossing the line. Carlos King has built a career around dissecting and amplifying reality TV drama, but this time the men behind the drama may have gone too far. So where should the line exactly be drawn? show, she built the betrayal she never expected. Melody Rogers, I'm going to mention her by her name that she wants to be called. Melody Rogers helped create the world that became Love Marriage Huntsville. Now, after leaving the show, she has to watch Ariana Curry, the woman connected to the collapse of her marriage, step up to the platform she helped build, and Carlos King is making it happen. And we're going to get into the whole article here in a minute. I just want to give credit to the real Crystal Jordan, Crystal XO, by the way. So here are all these shows now on TV, 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 now on TV. That's more of a movie. On TV, on TV, now on TV, now on TV, now on TV, now on TV. YouTube. I'm now on TV, now on TV. So basically, he has what? 1, 2, 3 shows. I'm not roasting them. I'm just saying facts. When drama becomes personal, who pays the price? Reality TV thrives on conflict, but when real heartbreak and personal betrayal becomes entertainment, the question becomes bigger than television. At what point is too much too much? So right here, Carlos King publicly shared a private conversation he had with Rogers after the show was greenlit. She wanted to renege when she learned that Holt's affair was not over. King explained that he promised Rogers that he'd protect her, make the show worth doing. If this is what protection looks like, I'll pass. King strived to produce scandal-filled television. Increased ratings doesn't always align morally. Yes, drama is what sells, but at what expense? So let's go now to LennoxandParker.com. I never heard of this site before this, so shout out to Lennox and Parker. Here we go. Carlos King has crossed the line. Child, when does he not cross the line? Alas, after 12 seasons, the woman partially responsible for dismantling the marriage between Martell Holt and Melody Cherie Rogers is finally gaining her 15 minutes of fame. By now, Love Marriage Huntsville fans have seen the explosive trailer featuring the much talked about Ariana Curry, or also known as Coleslaw, to be respectful. She'll appear as Holt's love interest, finally moving from the shadows into a shared confessional. Wait, she's out shadows? Wait a minute. Are you sure? Are we sure? Really? Are we sure she's moved out shadows? Moving on. I'm just stating facts, guys. Don't get mad at me. All right, moving on. Woody Woodpecker. Into a shared confessional. It's been a long road. Holt and Coleslaw have been discussed since the show's inception. Realistically, it makes sense for her to appear on the show, considering she is his leading lady now. Yes, leading lady now to still get a paycheck. But this serves as an ultimate betrayal to Rogers. It's a slap in her face, both on a personal and professional level. There's Melody there. One thing I know, two things for sure. Melody is a beautiful one. We ain't gonna take that away from her now. I may not rock with her the long way anymore, but I'm never gonna wish hell on her. Okay, listen. King lauds himself as the EP and creator of the show. While he had a hand bringing the show to life, LMH is the brainchild of Roger. She initially pitched the idea to King after band consultation fee with the self-proclaimed king of reality television. That title was given by Bingeworthy, which I'm going to forgive Bingeworthy. He probably had a long day. He was tired. And child, he just said out his mouth, just say out his mouth. I don't think he really meant that. And by the way, y'all, here's the thing, right? Because the last time I tried to help Melody, it was the Nick Cannon comment that he rolls with 47, or he fucks with 47, right? And so I got called everything but a child of God. Okay. So with that said, I was just like, y'all can have it, right? And I was done when what happened is what happened with when Tay talks uppity and Empress Radio, right? I was done there. And then on top of that, just to add more energy, I tried to warn Melody about something that could have hurt her TikTok lives, right? And I tried to contact her team this and a third. She said, I need to step down. I'm like, okay, child, listen, you say you want people on your team that care about you, but yet when somebody tries to do it, you don't want to listen. Okay, God bless you. And like I said, I don't cover her anymore because guess what? There's a black kid that's dead. Nolan Wells. We got bigger issues here than Melody Cherie. Okay? All right, moving on. But in the same token, though, just because I don't cover her anymore, I'm not her TikTok lives or this, that, and third, doesn't mean I have any hate for her, right? So people can feel the way that they feel and be respectful about it and move on. Some more than others, okay? That's why I did what I did at the top of the show, to let that piece of shit know that Cynthia Bailey, Drew Sidora are bigger than you will never become, you piece of shit. Now go cry to your coke auntie, Marie Gray, who, when she came out her mother's vagina, she didn't bring no sunshine. That's why her mama gave her last name Gray, okay? All right, moving on. Now, with that said, let's continue on here. Holt and Rogers wanted to do an HGTV-style home renovation show, knowing that ensemble shows centering on couples and friend groups had a stronger chance of getting picked up. King reworked the idea, suggesting the show follow 3 successful couples in Huntsville in various stages of life and love with real estate as a background theme. Thus, LAMH was born. Obviously, Holt and Rogers' marriage was drama surrounding his ongoing affair with Curry took center stage after their divorce and this drama that followed on and off camera. Rogers exited the show. Rogers had alluded to producers trying to get Curry to appear on the show previously, but of course she put a strong stop to it. During the season 3 reunion, she sat by as King questioned Holt about whether he would have chosen Curry over her if he met his mistress first. With Rogers gone, Curry has entered the fold in the very platform she created and pushed the knife even further in her back, twisted it mercilessly. King should be ashamed. So there is Carlos there. I think he was producing at that time on the ground. Once again, he said producing reality television isn't fun for him anymore. King publicly shared a private conversation he had with Rogers after the show was greenlit. She wanted to renege when she learned Holt's affair was not over. King explained that he promised Rogers that he'd protect her and make the show worth doing. If this is what protection looks like, I'll pass. King's drive to produce scandal-filled television, increase ratings, doesn't always align morally. When does it ever, though? Yes, drama is what sells, but at what expense? Some of his decisions have been questioned by those who trusted him to tell their story, some of whom once considered him a close friend and confidant. And let's not all forget when Latrice Rogers made it do what it do on his live, and then Carlos took down the live. And then there was a woman from hang on, let's see. There was one woman in particular. Oh, yes, right here. So this woman right here dropped the bomb on Carlos King that I'm not returning to your damn show on his show. Said, fuck you, don't let the door hit you on the way out. And if you fall and slip and you can't get your ass up, fuck you and your existence, okay? All right, moving on. Listen. I'm just bringing facts, okay? By the way, it's quite interesting, this African American Film Critics Association Award for Best Ensemble Cast. When I remember that when Melody Cherie Rogers won the Queen Reality Television Award from the American Reality Television Awards, the other side, like Prosperity Thick Girl 40, who, once again, I don't get your existence. Like, if you don't like somebody, why do you keep talking about? Like, sincerely, do you not have your own personality? Can you not stand for something for yourself? Or do you have to keep going down as a virtual lesbian on somebody else who has a life that you will never have? And not to say that you want that life, but child, she's living her life and she's living her life. And your life is hers because you ain't got nothing going on for yourself, along with the other people who move in the hell hole, the rabbit hole, and the shit hole of covering her. Like, girl. Child, it is so interesting to me how some of y'all are going to cover the show again. After some of y'all said, well, I've been trying to get out the sector for over a year now, this, that, and the third, and now you're like, oh, the old so-and-so is back. Okay, cool. Because you know what's going to happen? It's going to be round 2 of this war that happened all this time. It was Melody versus Martell. Now it's going to be Coleslaw versus everybody else. I already see the game plan. And I don't want to hear it when y'all say y'all don't want to do YouTube no more because you elected yourself to review the fucking damn show. Get the fuck out my face. Hello, one person. Glad to have you here. Not to you. I'm just giving commentary. All right, moving on. And like I said, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. But if you let it fly, it must fucking apply. Years ago, Kandi Burruss and her family had a close relationship and business partnership with King. Not only did King work as a producer on Real Housewives of Atlanta for 9 seasons, but also worked as a co-creator and producer on several reality shows with Burruss's then husband Todd Tucker. Things eventually soured, and Burruss would later allege that King tried to produce a biopic based on her escape without her knowledge or involvement. He even went allegedly as far as to try to get her mother, Mama Joyce, involved. King has taken the high road and opted out of defending himself publicly, but says he's open to have a conversation with Burruss privately, even inviting her onto his YouTube show. I mean, here's the thing, right? You know what? Let's do this live. Let's do this live because I got time. We got time today, okay? Let's do this live because I'm not. I just want to see something real quick. Oh my God. Okay, you know what? We're going to do it. We're going to do it. So there's a recurring segment I have from time to time called Math Time. And we're going to do some Math Time right now. Since we want to talk about who is the king or queen or them of reality TV, let's do it, shall we? I just used it this morning. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I literally just did a thumbnail this morning. Okay, that's fine. So this is what we're going to do, right? So I'm going to do this live in real time. I really do not know why it's not letting me do this. Okay, so there's that there. Okay, that's odd. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. So that right there, along with. All right, so this is Kandi Burruss's numbers right here: 708,000 subscribers versus 427,000 subscribers. So a difference of 281,000 subscribers between them, right? Okay, so that's subscriber count. Now we're gonna go by total view count, right? And since he is predominantly on YouTube, that's what we're going to do with YouTube. Because I'm just tired of just the bullshit. Like really, like no, we're not doing this. Okay. So here we go, y'all. Right here. Right here, right here, right here. So this is Kandi Burruss's numbers: 108,875,704 total views, minus 82 million, right? 120,567 total views. So for a grand total difference of 26,755,137 views. Kandi Burruss is bigger than Carlos King on YouTube. I'm gonna need y'all to cut the bullshit. Okay? All right. Moving on. Just that out there. Okay. All right. Let's continue on. Like I said, it would be better if you go on her show because she's the big platform, right? So just saying. Now this is Monique Samuels. Now she was on Housewives of Potomac for a long time. then went to Love and Marriage DC. And she did an interview that we reviewed here, and she said that Carlos King treated her worse than white people. Her words, not mine. Let's continue on. Former Love and Marriage DC star Monique Samuels said King begged to work with her after she left the Real Housewives of Potomac. After a few years, she claimed she finally gave it under the guise that she would be treated better within a King produced project. Samuels on the hallway. According to her, she was treated worse than she was treated during her time at Bravo. Samuels alleged that she was headed to look like the stereotypical angry black woman, while her then husband Chris Samuels was painted as a good black man with an ungrateful wife. She exited. She exited the show after one season and filed for divorce a year later. Samuels would later reveal in her memoir that her marriage was real with emotional, financial abuse, even turned physical at one point. Not to mention, let me bring up Winter. Shout out to Winter, who was from Love and Marriage DC. And when I was on a content creators channel, I asked Winter a very important question. I said, and I quote, did they have like pre-production meetings with like each of you to figure out like what's going on with your season, what's going on in your life and how it can relate to the season? And then did they sit down and, talk to the cast about, okay, this is what we want this season? And she said that was also too, I also meant to mention, was there weekly production meetings, right? At the end of the production week, you'll check in with the executive producer. Okay, how did this week go? And Winter said, that's a great question. That never happened. I don't have to make up anything to have a platform, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I just give facts and receipts. All right, here we go. Sophia Soguchi Williams and Keisha Cohen, formerly of Bell Collective. Oh yes, I remember Sophia Soguchi Williams as well. That was so Gucci and Selena, they clashed for a while, but they're good. They're good now. I've also shared the grievances about working on a King produced show, claiming dramatic narratives push and plot centered on destroying their marriages were favored. Things got so bad that Cohen quit the show while being interviewed on King's podcast for Cohen. That was seemingly her payback. Now King hosts weekly podcasts on his YouTube channel, does live tours, and has landed some sought after interviews with reality stars, mostly Bravo. You see, he slowly made the transition from behind the camera to being actual talent. He's always said he wanted his own show, right? One of his favorite things for my viewers is that being a reality star is no easy feat, and something he would never personally do, as he doesn't care to share his personal life. Exploring others' highs and lows, however, he can manage. It also seems that he does enjoy the spotlight and desires some level of fame and public admiration, which contradicts what he has vowed not to do. At some point, Rogers will speak candidly about how all this feels. Until then, she has to watch the how she built being torn down again. Love her or hate her, you have to feel for her. The show she created has continued her absence, and now with the woman who contributed to the demise of her marriage and involved. Meanwhile, King has produced 2 spinoffs of LMH, one in Detroit and one in DC, without giving Rogers proper credit financial compensation. That's what the kids call nasty work. The entertainment industry is a business first. One can say King shouldn't be faulted for doing what's good for his business. The Kingdom Reign empire is expanding, said no one ever. Multiple shows across various networks also said with no one ever. But his personal relationships have seemingly suffered. Factual, along with his reputation for trustworthiness. Smactual, okay? Shout out to Brene Alexander. Very well done, good sister. I love the article. And told no lies. Told no lies whatsoever. Sincerely. Now, you see how technology wants to work now? Okay. So I'm going to still do math time real quick. Now that Canva has straightened this stuff out, I'm going to do math time real quick. Because what I don't like to do is just say anything, just to say anything, which I never do anyway. But I'm going to do that. Hang on. Because I'm just like, I'm going to need y'all to stop. Okay. And I know what people are going to say, Bray, you can't really talk about numbers because you're a small creator. Okay, and my race is not your race. But what you're not going to do also is you're not going to be this stupid out here. just believing that you can just say anything out of your mouth and receipts can't be brought up on you. Okay, listen. There we go. Oh, nope, I need those numbers there, yes. Right here. And by the way, like I was saying about the American Reality Television Awards, when Melody Cherie won Queen of Reality TV, the other side said that the show wasn't real. I'm like, y'all, it's been around for 15 damn years. Just because y'all never heard of it doesn't mean it's not real. Jersey Shore, Big Brother, Survivor, everybody in Hollywood knows about that organization. Oh my God, some of y'all are media illiterate, but really some of y'all are beyond that. Some of y'all were born actual dumbasses. Okay, all right, moving on. But it was interesting because for that same award show that year, Love and Marriage Huntsville was nominated for best, reoccurring cast. So it's interesting now how all of a sudden the cast and Carlos King want to care about awards. In addition to that, Carlos King couldn't make himself available to go to the American Reality Television Awards, but somehow he got to host the Real Screen Awards. Come on now. Let's not do this. Let's not do this. Let's not do this. Let's not do this here. Okay? All right. Give me one moment, y'all. Get it up. Because I'm just like, what are we doing here? And like I said, if you don't believe me, you can take these same YouTube numbers, right? And you can do your own math on it. I ain't got to prove ish to nobody. I really don't. But receipts are important, everybody. Okay. Do. All right, here. Now let me download this page here. Oh, I like that. Thank you, Campbell, for that update, because I got tired of selecting all of them and all that stuff. All right, let me go to this here. Don't worry, we still have more to it. I just want y'all to know where we're at. So that way nobody can say Braylon did this, then the third. Here we go, right here. Okay, here we go. Let me send it to myself. Steps. All right, here we go. Here are the numbers. I ain't gotta lie. I don't have to lie on anybody in order to have a platform. Those are Candy Burris versus YouTube numbers. Those are Carlos King's numbers. Cut the bullshit with me. Okay? Good damn. I cannot. Okay, nothing new. Okay. All right, let's continue on. Let's talk about some AI, everybody, because this is some definite huge news that you need to know for sure. So here we go for Black Enterprise Magazine, blackenterprise.com. Here we go. 24% of AI-generated job interviews go down after hours. 24% of AI-generated interviews go down after hours. 24% of AI job AI-generated job interviews go down after hours. The shift highlights one potential advantage of automated interviews flexibility. Artificial intelligence is changing when and how Americans interview for jobs, with a growing number of candidates completing automated reviews late at night instead of traditional business hours, Wired reports. About 24% of all AI interviews conducted through recurring software company Ribbon take place between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. local time, according to company data. The figure rises to 35% among Ribbon's manufacturing clients. More than 500 companies use the service. Hiring platform Greenhouse is seeing a similar pattern. The company told Wire that roughly 15 to 20% of candidates using its voice agent to schedule interviews at night. My lord, the shift highlights one potential advantage of online interviews flexibility. Parents, hourly employees, shift workers, and people who cannot leave their current jobs during the day can interview when their schedules allow. This is generally a new option for people. Ribbon co-founder Arsham Garali told the outlet, knowing that some applicants have limited opportunities to interview during conventional work hours, but job seekers remain wary of AI's growing role in hiring. Greenhouse 2026 candidate AI interview report, which surveyed 2,950 active job seekers, found 63% have been interviewed by AI agent. 38% of U.S. candidates said they have withdrawn from a hiring process because it included an AI interview, while another 12 said they would withdraw if one was required. Transparency remains a major concern. Greenhouse found 70% of U.S. candidates were not clearly told before their interview that AI will be evaluating them. Another 30% want confirmation that a person will review AI generate results before employment decisions were made. Research suggests automated interviews could also help some candidates advance. A 2026 field experiment by researchers Ryan Jabarian and Luca Hinkle randomly assigned 70,000 job applicants to interviews conducted by either human recruiters or AI voice agents, according to Wired. Applicants interviewed by AI were 12% more likely to receive job offers. Human recruiters evaluate interviews and made the hiring decisions in both groups. The findings come as employers increasingly turn to AI to screen large applicant pools, while automated interviews can give workers greater control over when they interview. Candidate resistance suggests employers also face pressure to clearly explain how the technology is being used and where humans remain involved in hiring decisions. And this is what I have to say about that, right? When you think about, trying to have a career, right? A career is a face-to-face business, right? No, I'm sorry, how do I put it? Business is a face-to-face entity, right? Sonic, last time I checked, you can order virtually on DoorDash and Uber Eats and other places, but that's not the same as going to the Sonic drive-in, pressing that red button, saying, hello, can I get a Route 44 blue coconut slush, 3 chicken strip sandwiches, just the meat and bread, and then let me do 2 things of large mozzarella stick, please. There's nothing like that, right? So that human connection is very important. But also, too, as I told you guys, there is a lawsuit involving Workday and its hiring process that it is alienating people by, race and disabilities, right? Because there's been times where I've gotten an automatic response from Microsoft. I can't tell you how many times I got an automatic response of no. And it's just like, okay, did y'all review or did AI review it, right? So just be aware, right? And there are people out here with real experience. Y'all just have to give them a shot, okay? Moving on, everybody, from Black Enterprise Magazine, BlackEnterprise.com. Once again, we want to talk about Nolan Wells, everybody, and here we go. Nolan Wells' family speaks to the National Association of Black Journalists in Atlanta. The family is demanding a full federal investigation. The family of 18-year-old Nolan Wells, let me just see if there's anything new with him right now. Okay. Gotcha. Okay, so nothing. Ooh, okay, I will definitely bring this into the studio. I'll bring it in. Don't worry. Wait till you see this one. Let's continue on here. The family of 18-year-old Nolan Wells is called for a review into a federal review of the investigation into his death more than a month after he disappeared during a 4th of July boating trip in Mississippi, according to WLOX. Wells' parents, Christina Elmore Walmsley, joined civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump, the Reverend Al Sharpton, and U.S. Representative Lucy McBath on August 13th at the National Association of Black Journalists Convention in Atlanta. The group discussed the case during a panel moderated by journalist Tiffany Cross before holding a news conference. Okay, shout out to Tiffany Cross, still out here in these streets, being on the ground for us, for our culture in terms of journalism. Shout out to that. Wells was reported missing after he failed to return from a 4th of July boating trip with friends. By the way, shout out to Nancy Grace, who said to Race Bain Tatum that apparently these so-called friends that you're saying are Nolan's friends, who are now your friends. I'm like, Nancy Grace could come to the cookout. That was a clean line. And I don't think Officer Tatum got it because he was just but basically his supposed friends are now your friends because they're trusting you with information, but they also know that this looks bad. We need to talk to a Black person. So like Stephen always say, don't piss off the natural selection. Just because you were selected doesn't mean you were selected because you were important. Sometimes people will select you because you are a great puppet for them to be able to say what they want to say through you that they can't say. Okay? All right, moving on. But you're the $100 million man though, right? All right, moving on. His body was found July 6th in waters near Horn Island, off of Mississippi's Gulf Coast. The Congressional Black Caucus is also seeking federal scrutiny in a letter sent August 12th. Caucus Chair Yvette Clarke and other members urged Attorney General Todd Blanche and FBI Director Cash Patel to launch an independent review. McBath said federal officials were given 7 days to respond. We are demanding a full federal investigation. McBath said we want to make sure that every stone is turned because his life matters. Wells' parents have questioned the circumstances surrounding his disappearance and the authorities' initial response. Christine Walmsley says she contacted multiple law enforcement agencies trying to report her son missing, but was redirected because of jurisdictional questions. Independent autopsy commissioned by the family classified Wells' cause and manner of death as undetermined. The office of the district attorney, Angel Myers McBath, has said the state autopsy report will be withheld until grand jury reviews it. So here is Attorney Crump right here.
It's about the evidence, nothing else. And this family has always said from day one, even when I called Reverend Allen, we talked to him, they have been consistent. We want to know what happened to our child. Everything else is just, it's just clickbait and everything. It's about what happened to our child. Black press, NABJ, we need you now more than ever to keep everybody focused. What happened to this 18-year-old Black teenager in Mississippi? Because there have been questions when you look at the history of the Deep South where young Black people are unalive and nobody ever gets any answers. Yep. Well, we want Nolan Wells not to be like many others that came before him.
And that is why, as I said earlier, August 28th, the anniversary of Dr. King's March, Martin III and I called, we were doing a huge march in Washington, Lincoln Memorial. This will be highlighted in other cases because these things keep happening, and to protect the right to vote. So we intend to stay out on the battlefield as long as necessary.
Amen to that. Crump's team, yes, right here, sorry. Nolan Wells' family has said from the start they want to know what happened to their son. We intend to help them get those answers by amplifying the cultural transparency. On August 28th, the anniversary of Dr. King's March on Washington, we will march again at the Lincoln Memorial. His story will not be buried. And light, love, and prayers up to everybody who's going to that, because we still have a racist, biggest, sexist, rapist, and everything between ist in the White House and his administration and his supporters until 2028. So I'm praying for everybody, sending love and light to everybody going to that memorial on August 28th. Crump's team and the district attorney's office have also discussed jointly examining Will's phone attorney Liz Park said the family forensic team is one of prosecutors to establish a time and location for examination. The Jackson County Sheriff's Office told the outlet the investigation remains open and ongoing. Crump's team is conducting a separate investigation. We want truth. We want transparency, Crump said. Sharpton said the family will accept the findings of the investigation and provides clear answers. If the truth comes out and it's clear, then we will accept the truth, Sharpton said. That's all we're asking. Wells will turn 19 on August 19th. Oh, my God. Wow. The family plans to hold a national prayer rally at the St. Great Savior John AME Church in Biloxi, Mississippi. We just want the truth. Elmo Warmson said, we just want to know what any other parent would want to know. And this is the thing, too, right? Because people keep saying, the FBI needs to get involved. This is 47's FBI. I don't know if y'all know what fucking world we live in today, but this is 47's FBI. Hello, and hell to the low, okay? Just keeping it a buck. All right, so, and like I said, at the beginning, middle, end of the day, thank God Kun TV ain't on the case, because he flip-flops back and forth by saying, I don't think those white boys did. But yet, everybody on Horn Island is a witness, which means everybody can be a suspect, you dumb piece of shit. Just saying. And somebody saying everybody is a suspect should not cause a lawsuit to come upon you. Innocent until proven guilty, right? So everybody's innocent until proven guilty, but also everybody's a suspect. Hello, what we doing here? Child, please. Now, with that being said, I just saw this pop up as I typed in, Nolan Wells. Just saw this pop up. From Mediaite. Here we go. Okay, now this is a very big swing. Okay, here we go. Ex-ABC anchor trashes network over handling Nolan Wells story complicit in upholding white supremacy. All right, so yeah, that's what she's saying, upholding white supremacy. Okay, so here we go, y'all. Former ABC anchor Jamie Norman had harsh criticism for her own network in the way it covered the mysterious death of Nolan Wells. In late July, Norman posted a series of videos on YouTube called Nolan Wells coverage through a media literacy lens. The second video, posted on July 28th, took a closer look at Michael Strahan's Good Morning America interview with Wells' parents. Wells, 18, was found dead after disappearing during a 4th of July boating trip with friends to Horn Island off of the Mississippi coast. The only member of his group who didn't return from the boat excursion, even though his cell phone did. Give me one moment, everybody. I just want to check something real quick here. One moment, y'all. Sorry. Okay. All right. Okay. We're okay. Let's keep going here. Okay. Norm first took issue with Strahan asking Wells' parents, well, why they think he would stay behind Horn Island after his friends left. His friends denied having any involvement in Wells' disappearance and death and claimed he stayed on the island. The question should have been, do you believe that? Norman said, not asking these grieving parents to defend the decision that we even know for certain their deceased son made. That was not an objective question. Subjectively, I would say that was insensitive. It absolutely absolves authorities because, as I showed you before, that's not just the French version of what happened. That's now authorities' official version. Many news organizations haven't yet learned that they cannot always trust law enforcement as primary sources of credible information. Clock it. And that's what plays into racial divisions. Norman then accused ABC of ignoring the historical context of Mississippi, knowing the state has the most recorded lynchings in history. According to his parents, they say he had messages that appeared to be believed. Norman continued to bite and wash up with the tide on Sunday. They didn't find it until Monday. It's being immediately ruled out as accidental drowning. By ignoring that context, news organizations became become complicit in upholding white supremacy, and whether intentionally or unintentionally in plaintiff's racial divisions. Norman's 15-year run at ABC came to abrupt end. It was reported at the time that ABC declined to renew her contract, and she was very beloved by all of the GMA family for sure, all the viewers. So let's look at the comments here, okay? Now that's a lie, okay? 4 people like that are a waste of life, okay? So Michael Strahan is not that at all, okay? When Crump and Sharpton show up, that Michael Strahan. No, he does not support that. He has done a lot for Black people, more than these wastes of life that are talking in the comment section. Should history drive from media conclusion, or should the facts? People who hear stories about something horrific and add a reply that would have acted in a way to change the outcome and make it better are bad people. Even a Democrat propaganda outlet like ABC had no business in resigning this. No, not doing that. Let's always see if the above comment makes any sense. The way a sister throwing brother under the bus. Oh, hey, Black people, what's up, white boys? Take on this boy have a point. Now we see why they had to enter contract. Companies were not required to support DEI anymore, and instead were able to remove whether employees whose only skill was the color of their skin. She wants context from 1969. Hate to tell her, but the biggest state in Mississippi is Jackson, which is majority minority and controlled by all Democrats. You can't even drink the water there. If this young man is a victim of foul play, hope the people, plural, responsible are brought to justice. Not going to read that. Forget Jake is Mississippi ABC. So those are all the comments, right? And like I said, I think that Michael Strahan, did the best he could. I think it was one of the first times the parents spoke. And so Michael was trying to understand the room. Now, just because Michael asked questions that may not, the questions that should have been asked does not mean that Michael Strahan does not care, right? And I think that's very important to say, because we only see what we see, right? The interviews that you guys see, the segments that you guys see, the stories that you guys see, that was all done at a meeting that happened around 3 p.m. yesterday, right? Then overnight, they refined the rundown all the way up to 6:59 a.m., okay? So I just wanted to say that Michael Strahan does support Black people. And Robin, you're from Louisiana, so you know the both. So come on now, you know the racist history of Mississippi, okay? And here's the thing: news organizations do not have to make themselves Black-owned. They do not, but they do need to understand the context, conjecture, and connection of the history of any space that they are talking about. Because if you don't understand the history, then you can erase the weight of a news story. So here we go with this here.
Media Literacy 101. Let's look at Nolan's parents' first interview.
In this, that Nolan traveled to Horn Island with, they say that he stayed behind voluntarily. Why would he stay behind?
That we cannot answer.
Ask Michael because he had it right the first time. The question should have been, do you believe that? Not asking these grieving parents to defend a decision that we don't even know for certain their deceased son made. That was not an objective question. Subjectively, I would say that it was insensitive. It also absolves authorities because, as I showed you before, that's not just the friend's version of what happened. That's now authorities' official version.
I can't fathom why he would.
I don't know why he would. We always taught him to, if you go with a group, you stay with a group.
Many news organizations haven't yet learned that they cannot always trust law enforcement as primary sources of credible information, and that is what plays into racial divisions. Ignoring the historical context of Mississippi, the state with the most recorded lynchings in history, in the current context of a young man who goes out with friends, they return, he winds up dead. According to his parents, they say he had messages that appeared to be deleted, the body didn't wash up with the tied on Sunday. They didn't find it until Monday. It's being immediately ruled an accidental drowning. By ignoring that context, news organizations become complicit in upholding white supremacy, and whether intentionally or unintentionally, end up playing into racial divisions.
Any parent would fight for their kids to find out if anything happened, what did happen. So we just want honesty and transparency. We want a thorough investigation. We want that same respect that would be given to anybody else, and that's it. We just want answers.
These parents deserve more than what they've gotten so far from local law enforcement and from national media, who should at this point now be looking at law enforcement with more skepticism. Tag your favorite independent journalists and information-based content creators, because the more people talk about this and understand how media can be used for manipulation, the better we can all consume information. I'm Janae Norman. I used to do the news. Now I just report the facts and uncomfortable truths.
Ooh, child. Very well done. Very well done there. Like I said, I think everything is in the eye of the beholder. I think, I would trust Jamie Norman to understand it, because she was on ABC News for a very long time, right? She's done the work of being a journalist, so she's not just saying this just to say this, okay? Moving on, everybody. Some good news, everybody, from the Associated Press. White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt is leaving the 47 administration. Yay! But like I said, we're still in this shithole until 2028. So let's keep going. Here we go. From Washington. Associated Press, White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt, the youngest person to hold the role, will leave the 47 administration at the end of the month to spend more time with family. Leavitt, 28, called it a bittersweet decision in a social media post Wednesday, shortly after President 47 announced that she would be stepping down. She recently returned to the White Podium after giving birth to her second child, a daughter named Rihanna, in May. She also has a 2-year-old son. Light love and prayers to those children. Hopefully they have real women and real men in their life that will raise them up to be somebody important. The truth is, since returning to the White House after the birth of my daughter, I have felt in my heart that I cannot be the best mom for my 2 younger children while devoting the constant time, energy, and attention required of the White House press secretary. That's why ultimately I decided to make That's why I have ultimately made the best decision to depart the White House and embark on a new chapter in my life. Leavitt wrote. 47 did not outline plans of who might replace her in the high-profile role. He says, social media post that of his own, that her decision to leave is one I totally understand and respect. Wow, he totally understands and respects a woman's decision. Wow, what a shocking concept. And indicates she will continue to play a role in his appointment. Karoline will now be one of my top outside advisors and influential voice within the. Sorry, y'all. Those sneezes get harder when you get older. Within the Republican Party, as we work to defy history and consecutively win the midterm elections, the president wrote. Leavitt worked as a spokesperson for MAGA Inc., a super PAC supporting 47 before joining his 2024 campaign. In 2022, she ran for Congress in New Hampshire, winning a 10-way Republican primary before losing the general election to incumbent Democrat Representative Chris Pappas. During 47's first term in office, Leavitt worked as an aide in the White House press office. Then she became communications director for New York Republican Representative Elise Stefanik. Leavitt briefed from the White House press room less frequently than some of her recent predecessors. 47 regularly engages with reporters during White House events and during his travels, primarily deployed Leavitt to fake news. I'm at Fox News, slip of the tongue, and other conservative news outlets to 47 his agenda and take shots at Democrats in the mainstream media. 47's first term press secretaries include Sean Spicer and Sarah Trasham B. Sanders. I'm sorry, once again, slip of the tongue, who are known for quarreling with reporters. Another Stephanie Grisham never held a briefing. Her successor, Kayleigh McKinney, often lectured the news media during her appearances during the press briefing room. Oh, that was a poor. So So that is everything you need to know with that. That's my opinion. Yay. Hope the kids grow up to be somebody important. Her and her husband can go somewhere and leave the rest of us the hell alone. All right. Moving on. Our last destination for you all today, everybody. Our last destination for you all. From NBCnews.com, everybody. Selena Gomez, okay, and her mom accused of fraud over their mental health startup. Now, this is all alleged, okay? And a new lawsuit, investors say they gave $1.2 million to Wondermind to build out the company's products and expected Gomez to be involved in marketing. Now, the real question is going to be whether she was going to be a silent partner, right, just fund the money and then give consulting behind the scenes, or if she was going to be the face of it and then there was a contract negotiated. So I think the contract will tell us everything that we need to know. Superstar Selena Gomez and her mother are accused of defrauding investors of their mental health startup Wondermind in a federal lawsuit filed Thursday. Wondermind, which was co-founded by Gomez and her mother, Mandy TV, and Daniela Pearson in November 2021, touts mental fitness practices and tools. The suit accuses Wondermind and its founders of falsely representing the company's infrastructure, leadership, and partnerships to investors and concealing the alleged fraud for more than 3 years. The founders told investors that they would build a Wondermind app, boasted advertising deals and secured celebrity cover stories, none of which came to fruition. The complaint says investors poured nearly $1.2 million into Wondermind, but the trio falsely represented the company's plans to make it profitable. The suit says it alleges that investors were kept in the dark until 2 bombshell media reports portrayed Wondermind as a company under disarray. The suit was filed in federal court in Delaware by Wondermind SRS 44 LLC and Bespoke Wondermind SPV 1 LLC, a limited liability companies that invested in the startup. They accused the company of, and the founding trio rather, of securities fraud, common law fraud, and breach of contract, and are seeking rescission, meaning illegal cancellation of the investment contract as well as damages. A statement Pearson says she categorically denies the allegations against her and welcomes the opportunity to present concrete documentation and financial records that establish the facts. To be clear, she has never used investor funds for personal expenses. Quite the opposite. Daniela invested her own money into the business and did not draw a salary from the company, she said in a statement. Representatives from Wondermind, Gomez, and Kofi did not need to respond to requests for comment Thursday. No products, no updates, and no Selena. Investors say in the suit that they believe the money they gave Wondermind will rapidly scale and build a full suite of company products, including an app, podcast, editorial publication, other wellness products. They also believe that the company's value lay in Gomez's involvement as celebrity with a massive world fan base. The suit alleged that Wondermind has indicated that Gomez will be intimately involved in the company as they have market and involved in publicity, but none of those things happened. The suit says Gomez before to sign contract obligating her to perform and then ignore it. The partnerships did not exist. The initiatives never materialized. The app was never built. It says, and for 3 years, the company quietly collapsed around them. Not one of its founders, officers, or directors said a word to the investors whose money was funding the collapse. The investors also alleged that the defendants did not provide timely updates about the status of their investments and the company's operations unless they were pressed. In the limited updates, rather, they did provide. They both firmly misrepresented the status of the company's operations and concealed material information about ongoing issues of the company, the complaint says. Media articles allege a company in disarray. Investors were kept in the dark. The suit alleges for more than 3 years. Then a August 2025 article focused on Pearson with the headline, Smoke and Mirrors, How This Entrepreneur Exaggerated and Self-Promoted Her Way into Turmoil. Pearson was described to investors as a millionaire executive whose past business, the Daily Newsletter, the Newsette, which is News and Gazette, combination of those words, rather, of which he was CEO, generated $40 million a year. The suit says investors were also told she had secured partnerships with JP Morgan and Fidelity, but the Forbes report cast scrutiny and said Pearson exaggerated her leadership and value in the evaluation of her newsletter. Sounds like Carlos Watson and Aussie Media there. The suit says that investors contacted Tiffany for explanation. For explanation after the article published that she responded to Pearson. That Pearson rather had allegedly misappropriated investor funds, including the plaintiff's funds, to fund her lavish lifestyle, including her $60,000 monthly rent for a New York City apartment and monthly expenses before she was ousted from the company in January 2023. Yet Tiffy had never informed investors about the alleged misappropriated funds before the article was published. The suit says an article in The Cut published September 3rd titled "What Happened at Wondermind" based on interviews with current and former employees. Alleged the company was falling apart. The accounts in The Cut article collectively showed that from the outset, Wondermind had no plan for its future, much less a plan for achieving a multi-billion-dollar valuation. It says that article alleged that Tiffany. Oh, it's just a McDonald's thing. Okay, give me a moment, y'all. One moment. Thank you so much. All right, there we go. That article alleged that Tiffany had a long-running substance abuse problem that impeded her capacity to help the company. That Gomez sought to distance herself from Wondermind based on long-running family disputes with Tiffany, and that Pearson had been long out from the company based on a dispute with Tiffany. The suit says. Her mom? Oh my God, child. Oh my God. Okay. Wow. Hang on a second. Oh my God. Okay. Based on long-running family dispute with Tiffany, and that Pearson had been ousted from the company based on a dispute with Tiffany TV. The suit says the suit claims proved that the company was in a state of financial calamity and there was no legitimate enterprise in the works. 2 months later, in November, investors sent the defendants a notice of rescission, demanding the return of their funds. They say in their suit, the defense did not respond in substance to the notice. The suit says, but continued to lure and mislead the plaintiffs. After the notice of rescission was sent, TV allegedly contacted Bespoke's representative suggesting that investors should not file a suit claiming the company had an escrow account to return the investments. This week's lawsuit says when Andrew Risnick, part of Bespoke, followed up for details of the account and the return of funds, Tiffany disappeared. Says in short, there was no escrow account, or plan to return the plaintiff's investments. The complaint says. Misleading updates. The suit details several allegations of investors being given updates that end up being misleading or false. In June of 2022, it said Pearson told the plaintiffs that Wondermind had grown to more than 150,000 subscribers in 1 month, and she had met with executives at other companies regarding large advertising deals, and she anticipated closing with at least $5 million in ad revenue this year. She also said the company had interest or confirmation for cover story features for major celebrities, including Camila Cabello, Tim Cook, Elton John, Drake, Megan Thee Stallion, and more. The complaint says she said the company was starting to build its online editorial experience and ambassador referral program. The complaint says she alleged to have touted that the company had a potential future value of more than $4 billion. That led investors to believe the company had the foundation to operationalize. The suit says that from 2022 to 2025, the plaintiffs proactively contacted Tiffy and Pearson for updates. When the defendants would provide updates either by email or on phone call, they concealed the significant operational and financial issues at the company. Indeed, the defendants affirmatively misrepresented that the company was performing well. The suit says overall, the suit accuses Wondermind and all defendants of securities fraud, alleging they misrepresented the company's finances and Gomez's involvement. Pearson's background and Tiffany's fitness, as she had never held a similar startup CEO role. They are further accused of common law fraud and equitable fraud. Pearson, in addition, is accused in the suit of securities fraud for what it alleges were misstatements to investors, conversion from wrongfully used investment funds, and unjust enrichment. Wondermind is also accused in the suit of breach of contract, use of investors' proceeds, position failures to satisfy conditions precedent, and breach of contract, breach of express representations and warranties. Woo! So, what do I think about this destination? Like I said, Wizards Beyond Waverly Place just ended, and then this lawsuit comes out. Child, of course, we have to just wait and see what comes out in the wash. You definitely do not want to jump the gun on anything, you know what I mean? And, like I said, Selena Gomez, she's usually not really in too much controversy. There was that one time where her friend Jessica Rivera from The Secret Life of American Teenager gave a kidney and did not thank, and Selena Gomez did not thank her in her post on Instagram, I believe. So there is that. So yeah, so that's pretty much the show. Let's see here. Now here is some news here that we do the positive news story of the day. Sometimes a positive news story is to celebrate the life of somebody. So this is very, very sad. Christy Knowings, rather, but loved Nickelodeon All That Star, passed away at the age of 46 years old.
My name is Gina, and my name is Jessica. And welcome to Whatever with Gina and Jessica. Okay. Today on Whatever, we're gonna have a totally awesome party. Yeah, it's gonna be super fabulous. Yeah. But the first thing you need to host a really awesome party as a theme. My name is Gina.
So here is the news right here. According to TMZ, Knowings died at 46 years old. 46, y'all. After suffering an asthma attack that caused brain damage, a family member told the outlet she was hospitalized and placed on life support before her family made the decision to remove it Tuesday. She passed away later that night at Los Angeles area hospital. Knowings joined Nickelodeon's sketch comedy series in 1997 and spent 3 seasons playing several roles, including Penny Lane and Jessica in the recurring sketch Whatever. Alongside sketches alongside Amanda Bynes, she later appeared on Sesame Street with her twin brother, Chris Knowings. For many viewers, Knowings remains a defining era of Nickelodeon comedy and representation that still matters and that still powerfully resonates today. Prayers to her loved ones during this difficult time. Shout out to the Jasmine brand. Right here says, I think this comment says it all. So sad. People think asthma is a serious illness, but obviously it is. I've heard people pass away due to asthma. Rest in peace. Absolutely. And also too, y'all, just because people are not outside like we think they should be outside, which have you seen the world today? Some people like peace, tranquility, and being in their right framework for them to live as a human being, right? So, much love to the Knowings family, friends, and to everybody. Also to Nickelodeon, to the many cast members of all that. Okay, so yes, indeed. And finally, here's a positive news story to let us all know at least our lives are not this bad, y'all.
I say the old angels in heaven, there is no victory for Ray J. Orlando Brown. I see myself in you, my nigga. And I ain't talking about when you turn around. Broke ass nigga. They call it po ass nigga. With a wiggle apart like a motherfucking pig, nigga. Can split open the gate. Ho ass nigga. I'm a ho ass nigga. Strike the fuck up. Pussy niggas get fucked. You a bitch, nigga. You want smoke?
Ray J versus Orlando Brown.
Watch this nigga get his ass whooped. Before God, I got something special for you, right up your asshole.
Clarissa Shields versus K. Scott Undercard. Saturday, August 15th. Live. Only on Zeus.
This is going to be at the State Farm Arena, child. I feel so bad for State Farm. They're just like, why do we keep getting these ratchet, tattered, and ghetto-ass events? Child, that's the show. Y'all, a little bit later on tonight at 10 o'clock, BFP Imagineer, I got to talk to them and see how we're going to do it. But a little bit later on tonight, we will be here live at 10 o'clock for the movies and TV D23 breakdown live. So we'll talk a little bit later on tonight. But one love, much love, all love. I feel the love. It's right back to you. Bye, everybody. Have a great weekend. Love you all.
I thought I should tell you, they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you, they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you, they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner.
me if you want to live a more delicious life.
Oh, maybe we should get in the van.
In this world, we don't get to control much. The past, male pattern baldness.
Leggies.
Got one right now. The urge to puff that bubble wrap. But there is one thing we do get to choose every single day. What we eat. Welcome to the Sonic Department of Research and Deliciousness. We have everything you want, didn't know you wanted, and some things you didn't know were possible. Because we believe if you're not having fun, you're not living free. So come on, let's live a little.
Hey, good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Money.
Are you ready? They are ready.
Covering the biggest events in the country right now.
There's a lot going on here.
It's always a good time. That's what the show's about.
That's good. Really good. Very good.
Coming in hot, Jimmy, coming in hot.
It's far from elementary.
Good morning, America.
I'm not going to try to strut like Michael or anything.
I have known George a long, long time.
Have you ever gotten him to dance?
Sure.
Look at that face.
You don't just see it, you feel it.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'll be there.
I am here and so happy.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'm in.
That tells you something when Snoop Dogg's in. Michael, George, Lara,
Ginger.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content.
I have been moving on my own accord, covering Black culture. There is more to life. I heard that, friend. Braylon, shout out to Braylon. Make sure y'all go follow Braylon in case y'all haven't. I love your content. I have been moving on my own accord, covering Black culture. There is more to life. I heard that, friend. Braylon, shout out to Braylon. Make sure y'all go follow Braylon in case y'all haven't. I love your content. I have been moving on my own accord, covering Black culture. There is more to life. I heard that, friend. Braylon, shout out to Braylon. Make sure y'all go follow Braylon in case y'all haven't. I love your content.
Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child Bradley over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child Bradley over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child Bradley over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time.